Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's video is a companion to last week's where I showed you how to get different voicing starting from a single chord. Very useful, I suggest you check it out after you watch this video. Today's a bit different. Today is all about finding a great chord voicing that we love in other parts of the neck. And we're gonna do this by playing it on different sets of strings. The only rule here is that you start from a chord that leaves at least the sixth and or the first string out of it, all right? If we have a big chord that covers all 6 strings, we can apply this little trick to it. So today I will demonstrate it exactly the same as last week with this very simple C major 7th position. I have the 3rd fret on the 5th string, which is my C, the root, then I have the 5th on the 5th fret of the 4th string, then the major 7th B on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and finally the E on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And this is what we're gonna start with. So here I have my 6th string that is not being used and my 1st string that is not being used, and we're gonna take full advantage of that. Because this fingering only uses the middle 4 strings, I could theoretically move it up or down a set of strings to cover the 6th and 1st and still find a viable chord. And that is true, but there's one catch. The guitar is tuned in 4ths for most of its strings, but the 2nd string is tuned as a major 3rd in relation to the 3rd. And that's where all the problems come in. You can't just move chords up and down sets of strings without keeping that into account. If I were to simply take this C major 7th and move it up a set of strings, so 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd, I would get this rather strange sounding chord. It's not a bad chord, but it certainly doesn't sound the same. It's not a major 7th sound. And the reason is exactly that, because before I was playing something on the 2nd string, which is the odd string out as far as tuning goes, and now I'm playing on the 3rd string. So there is a discrepancy there that we must fix. Here's the rule. When you move something from the 2nd string to the 3rd, you lose 1 fret. That's simple. So if I were playing 3, 5, 4, 5 before, now I must move that last 5 here to a 4. Now I get the same exact chord. Check it out. Major 7th, major 7th. Now if it still feels different to you, that's simply because the pitch is different. I'm moving from a C here on the 5th string to a G on the 6th. If I move it up the right amount of frets until I land on the C, now I'm getting the same exact chord, same sound. Why is it useful? Well, for many reasons. One is that you might want this specific sound, but the rest of your song has been playing up here. I can now play this fingering right here, and it will still sound the same, but it will be in a more advantageous position for me if I'm playing a song. The other reason is that I might really like this one, but I need to play in a different key, so I might have to play it with a different root. In G, for example, then here I have it. Whereas if I were simply to move this position all the way up, I may fall out of register, right? I might be too high for whatever the arrangement is. If I want to keep it low, then this will certainly solve my problem. We can of course do the same thing in the other direction. We can start from the 5th string and move to the 4th. If I do the same thing as before without changing my fingering, I would get this sound. A very nice chord, but certainly not a major 7th sound. Why? Well, because the 2nd string is still at play and we have to account for that. How do we do it? Well, it's very simple. We take any note that lands on the 2nd string and we move it up 1 fret now. Before it was down when we were moving away from the 2nd string to the 3rd. Now we have to move it up because we land on a string that is tuned 1/2 step lower than everybody else. And therefore what we do is take this position. This note here landed on the 2nd string and we have to raise it 1/2 step. And now I get the same type of chord. It's a major 7. Of course, the root will change. Now it's an F major 7. If I want to keep it in C, we'll have to move it until we find the C. Same advantages as before. I can find different registers, or I could use this one in other roots that fit whatever song I'm playing. And that's it. Try with as many chords as you can. Get used to that second string needed to be adapted and accounted for, but this is an amazing tool to have for your chordal playing. If you're on my Patreon, you'll be able to download all the graphics from this video, but also I will show you some extra chord positions so that you can really get to know this technique. Either way, thank you so much for being there. If you want to check out more videos, probably these two here will teach you something new, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care.